video. Today I will be giving you a tarot card reading. How we're going to do that is there are going to be 3 piles of cards, and I want you to pick the pile that stands out to you the most. So the first pile has the Carnelian on top. The second pile has the rose quartz. And the third has the tiger's eye. So observe the crystals as you take deep breaths in and out, and intuitively pick the pile that stands out to you. That's going to be the reading, the message that you're going to want to hear. I have the timestamps down below, so click on the one that resonates with you. Sometimes more than one can resonate, so you're also welcome to listen to all of them and intuitively pick up the messages that you need to hear. There are going to be some things that resonate, and of course not everything's going to resonate all of the time, and that's okay. You know what you need to know, and that's why you're here. So let's get into the readings. Let's start with the Carnelian. So the first pile that we have is for the Carnelian, and the first card that you got was the 3 of Swords. And this particular one is very terrifying in my opinion. I don't think I've ever seen. I think this is the scariest looking card in the entire deck. And you can tell right off the bat that she's hurting, she's in pain. And there's a heartbreak, there's a lot of sorrow, and yeah, just a lot of pain. So perhaps in the past you experienced something that caused a lot of pain for you. Maybe you were heartbroken, maybe whatever it was, it created a lot of suffering, and it was a very rude awakening, but it kind of got you into this process of trying to wake up and digging deeper within yourself. I can tell that because you have the Tower, and I don't get that bad of a vibe from this Tower. Sometimes the Tower isn't what we really want and comes up very abruptly, and now you are processing. You're in this process of releasing whatever was toxic within you. And that the devil tells us that. And despite, the pain and the anguish, frustration, sorrow, and whatever you have to work through, despite the huge wake-up call, there is optimism. And perhaps it took you a little bit to get here, but now that you are here, there is optimism. There is a sense of eagerness to move forward. You know that there is something awaiting you, and you're wanting to move forward. You just don't know how yet. And it's going to take a while, but it's going to be worth it. Yeah, the Empress, you are not yet at the point of birthing what it is that you have been creating, but you are in the process of creating, and you're working at it. And if you look at this card, you see her belly, and the womb contains the earth. So similarly, this is something really big you are creating, and it's not going to take just a couple of days or weeks. It's going to be a process. And just like how the mother carries the baby, you have to be patient for all of those 9 months, right? Maybe it will take 9 months, maybe up to a year is what I'm looking at. But it will require a lot of patience, a lot of sitting with yourself and with that creative energy, learning how to allow that creative energy to flow. That's going to look different for everybody. So it's your job to figure out what that's going to look like for you. And eventually you will get to this point of the Six of Wands, this place of feeling victorious, proud, successful, and wanting to share your successes with everyone else around you. You're going to get to a point where people around you will feel attracted to you and want to be around you because of all your successes and winnings, and they're going to feed off of that. And so you're going to get to a point where you'll feel very proud of everything that you've done, been through, and accomplished. So this is quite broad, and I'm sure a lot of us go through periods like this. Let's see what the other cards have to say to add on to this reading. So I pulled some cards from the Osho deck. The first one that came out is conditioning, and I love this card because this is the card of awakening. If you look at the picture, you see the lion and how the lion is tied to a sheep's clothing, and the lion is awakening to the fact that he's realizing he is a lion, but he's fooled himself by believing that he was a sheep all this time. And so you're kind of in the same spot right now, in waking up from your limiting beliefs and realizing that, wait a minute, I'm bigger than this. I'm more than this. You are the lion. You're not the sheep. So don't cower down. Don't dim your light. It's so cliche, but don't dim your light into believing you're something you're not, into believing you're lesser than what you are. That's what this card is trying to say. And right next to it, you got beyond illusion. So there you go. You are at this point of metamorphosis where you're waking up from the conditioning, waking up beyond the illusion and seeing what the truth is and not believing in the illusion. You are letting go of the conditioning, letting go of the sorrow that we mentioned earlier, the negative patterns, self-sabotaging patterns that the devil showed us earlier, and the tower moment that you had was essentially an opportunity to help you push into this energy of letting go. It forced you to begin to let go, and you welcomed it. And maybe your ego didn't welcome it, but a deeper part of you did. and which is why you are learning so much and awakening so fast. And there is one piece of advice that this deck has for you, which is the card of traveling. And this card is about just recognizing that it's about the process. It's not about means to an end. The end will never come. And you know what? I want to read to you what the guidebook has on this card. I love what Osho said. Let's see, there we go. He says, life is always and always a continuity. There is no final destination. Just a pilgrimage, just the journey itself is life. Not reaching to some point, no goal, just dancing and being in pilgrimage, moving joyously without bothering about any destination. What will you do by reaching a destination? Nobody has asked this, because everybody is trying to have some destination in life. But the implications, if you really reach the destination of life, then what? Then you will look very embarrassed. Nowhere to go. You have reached the final destination, and in the journey, you have lost everything. You had to lose everything. So standing naked at the final destination, you will look all around like an idiot. What was the point? You were hurrying so hard and you were worrying so hard, and this is the outcome. I just love that. So I want you to think about this very hard. What's the point of getting to the end? What then? Right? You can't get to the end. And even if you reach a goal, there'll be another goal. You'll never be satisfied. This is what it means to be human. So rather than hurrying and feeling frustrated that you're not there yet, what if you just dissolved and relaxed into the journey? Because that's literally all there is. Just the journey. You just keep going. And sure, there are going to be milestones, and there will be moments where you are proud of yourself, proud of how far you've come, but you still keep going. So the journey never ends, and that's what you have to enjoy. And from the Fool's Journey, you get the fearful. Laugh at your fears. So when it comes to your future and wanting to get to that goal and trying to hurry, worrying about it, what's the fear behind that? What do you fear that's pushing you, that's making you anxious about what's going to happen? Look into that fear and realize how ridiculous it is. So what if you don't get to what you want? So what? The journey never ends, right? So you'll get there eventually. So what's the fear then? What's the anxiety? What's the point of it? Look at how ridiculous it is sometimes where the mind goes. I'm just going to shuffle one more deck and see if there are any additional messages. Okay. So I do see a point in time in the future where you're going to find that unity with your higher self, where you'll find that connection internally with your higher self, and maybe see that reflected outwards as well within your career. Feeling this deep resolution in your career and how you just resonate with what you do and the people that you encounter in your job. Could be that. It could also be finding that connection with a partner, a life partner, romantically, and seeing, your light being reflected back to you through them. So I see that in the future for you. And I also see that there's going to be a lot of stability with it as well. Stability in terms of the 3D manifested version of this energy of your life being reflected back to you. So you're going to be noticing a lot of stability very soon, financially, romantically, in many aspects, but it is going to be a steady path is going to take you there, right? It's not going to happen just like that. It's going to take steadiness and one step after another and a lot of patience for you to get there. So a lot of us don't like to hear this. We want to know that it's going to happen tomorrow. But as with your entire reading so far, this has been the message that you have to enjoy the process. Trust the process. Enjoy the journey. You are moving away from the past, healing the past, and you will get what you want. You will, as you release the conditionings, the limiting beliefs, the illusions. You will get to the truth, get to that point of connection with your higher self and see that reflected back to you in 3D reality. But until then, trust the process, be with it, be steady. Thank you for listening. So that was the reading for the Carnelian Group. Next, we have the rose quartz. So you picked this pile, and then here's your message. So all of your cards are looking really good. Very positive energy, which is great to see. The first card that you got was the Seven of Pentacles. This is the card of waiting for harvest, of having patience, and just like you can see here, the man is giving light to his pentacles, to the plant, and it's helping it grow. So he's just waiting for it to come into fruition, and right now you're at this point of just patiently waiting for things to come together. And that's a really good place to be if you can respect the need for patience. And it looks like you have some yearning for the way things used to be. So maybe this is, it kind of feels like a love reading, and maybe it is. So if that applies to you, if it resonates, then maybe you're yearning for a past partner, the way that relationship felt. Maybe a friend or a family member, maybe how things were before quarantine, And there's a desire to go back to that. There are positive energies you're drawing upon from the past, and you're hoping that it can sort of recreate itself in the future. Overall, it is a positive energy. There's nothing wrong with that. The yearning is okay as long as you are open and receptive to how it's going to unfold without you trying to control it, because it always unfolds differently than we expect. I see that you're carrying a lot of burden at the moment, so maybe this burden is just the feeling of, when is it gonna come? Oh, do I have to keep going like this? So there's a little bit of heaviness of, can we just get to it already? And it's a feeling of like you're close to the finish line, but you're not there yet. So you're a little exhausted as you're trying to walk there, get there. She's trying to find her way home, and she's very close, but as you can see, I think it's an ox. The ox is carrying a lot, and you need to release this burden. Let it go. You don't need to carry the load and the weight of the past. You can let it go and still be open and receptive to what you want. And for the most part, I think you are open and receptive. The Page of Cups is someone who is dreamy, imaginative, and really good at manifesting. Imagine like a curious, playful child that is just connected with the universe and knows how to get his way. And that's the energy you need to really embody right now. Be the Page of Cups and just be open and receptive all the time. And trust in that you can get what it is you're yearning for. And the outcome is beautiful. You get the Ten of Cups, which is that feeling of total emotional fulfillment. When you feel like you just have it all. You're like, wow, I did this, and I'm so happy. Look at all my cups. Look at how much I have, and how just feeling like you're overflowing with emotion, that you're completely complete with all your emotions. It's the kind of energy that you want to share with other people, and that only really appears when you can't share with other people. We feel the most satisfied when we have those that we love around us, and when we can have those beautiful moments with them, and know that those are moments that you're going to cherish forever. And that's what's coming. Those kinds of moments with your loved ones, with maybe this person that you're yearning for. Person or thing or family or friend, right? I pulled some cards from the Osha deck, and what you got was aloneness. And this is a big lesson to learn for a lot of people, especially if this has been a romantic reading for you, if you're yearning for that partner to be alongside you. You have to master aloneness. And note that aloneness doesn't mean loneliness, right? Being alone can be a very satisfying experience. beautiful and expansive to be alone, to enjoy your own company, to sit with yourself and know yourself. That's a luxury. And this is your opportunity to do that before all these beautiful manifestations come in. You have this time which you should take as luxury to get to know yourself, to be with yourself, and to befriend yourself. Aloneness isn't loneliness. Aloneness can be the most satisfying thing in the world. So really use your time wisely right now. And you got control, and this I take as a warning. Don't try to control how things are going to unfold. You need to be passive in this, letting in your manifestations. You're being called to just be passive as things unfold. Because perhaps in the past, control was what prevented you from getting what you want or not having your way. Control is that thing that, as much as you want to have your way, and that's why you try to control things, the more you try to control, the more you prevent yourself from having your own way. So, release expectations and how things are going to unfold, because they're not going to unfold the way you want them to. They'll unfold better than you expect. And that's always the case. The truth is better, always better, than whatever your limited mind can conceive of. So be open to that. Control won't take you there. Openness, expansiveness, and receptivity will allow you to receive that. And the Carnelian pile also got this card, which I love. This card is about enjoying the journey. It's called traveling. And you know what? I'm going to read the little passage again from the Zen Tarot guidebook. I read it earlier when I was doing the reading for the Carnelian pile. So if you watched that part, I hope you get to enjoy this a second time. Where is it? Life is always and always a continuity. I should say continuity, right? There is no final destination it is going toward. Just the pilgrimage, just the journey itself is life. Not reaching to some point, no goal. Just dancing and being in pilgrimage, moving joyously, without bothering about any destination. What will you do by reaching a destination? Nobody has asked this, because everybody is trying to have some destination in life. But the implications. If you really reach the destination in life, then what? Then you will look very embarrassed. Nowhere to go. You have reached the final destination, and in the journey you have lost everything. You had to lose everything. So standing naked at the final destination, you will look all around like an idiot. What was the point? You were hurrying so hard and you were worrying so hard. And this is the outcome. So recognize that there is no end goal, there is no end. You can't get to the finish line because the moment you think you've achieved a goal, there's going to be a bigger one and a bigger one. That's the human psyche. That's just how we operate. You're never going to be satisfied. So why not just enjoy the process of getting to these milestones? Sure, the milestones are going to be moments that you'll cherish and be proud of, but there will always be another one and another one. So you just keep going, right? So if there isn't any need to control in trying to make sure it happens, because it will happen sooner or later, eventually. And your job is just to be connected and keep going and feel good as you keep going. That's your only job. From the Starseed Oracle, you got birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. And the meaning for this card is really about doing what scares you the most, even if you feel unprepared for it, just going for it anyways. What's new is never going to look exactly like how you imagined it, because your imagination will always be a projection of what you already know. Be prepared for something totally outside of what you expect. And that's going to be something new. That's going to be expansive and a truly desirable future. It's not going to be how you think it's going to be. So don't try to control it and manipulate it into that, because it's so much bigger, so much more expansive. So be open and receptive into birthing that, the new, not the old, the new. Finally, from the Fool's Oracle, you have the Beauty Fool. You are naturally beautiful. And my only takeaway from this is that you're resonating beautiful energy right now. So just keep going with that. Continue to be open, receptive. Continue to keep holding on to this connection. Keep going. You're on the right energetic vibration. And just stay beautiful. Now let me shuffle the Universal Tarot to see if we have any additional messages. Beautiful. You got the Two of Cups, and that's the energy of the Rose Quartz, the energy that you're emanating right now. And it's soon about to come into fruition. This is when you feel that externally you're being reflected back to you, the beauty that's inside you. And you can take it as connection with your higher self. You can take it as connection with a life partner that really gets you, who mutually resonates with you. Or connection with your career, with anything that you want to do. Just feeling your external reality as a manifestation of your beauty, of all that you really are. That's going to be reflected back to you very soon. And there you go. That was your reading. Hope you enjoyed. Next, we have the tiger's eye. So if you pick the pile for the tiger's eye, this message is for you. Right off the bat, you got the Two of Swords, and this represents that feeling of indecision, of being at a crossroads and not really knowing what it is that you want and how you're going to make the right decision. There seems to be a lot of confusion, a lot of mental activity as you go back and forth, weighing the pros and cons. So let's see what the reading, what tarot wants to tell you. So let's see what you need to know. You have the King of Swords as well as the Queen of Swords. And these two cards tell me that you are a very mind-oriented person. A lot happens mentally for you. You are an intellectual, you like to think, and you're very good at it. But at the moment I feel like it's almost too much, especially with this card, right? It's like no matter how good you are at being intellectual and thinking your way through things, in this situation, whatever that is for you, thinking is not going to get you there. You're like already at the top of the pinnacle, and you know, you've hit the ceiling. There's no more that the mind can do for you, and the solution is going to look different, or the way to your solution is going to be different than you imagine. Yeah. Here I think with the mind orientation of being so up in your head is preventing you from seeing the toxicity, the part of you that is sabotaging your situations, the negative patterns. It's preventing you from seeing that because the mind functions on patterns, on beliefs, on logic that you resourced from your childhood, right? So to be completely identified up here means you're also identified with your belief systems, whether they may be sabotaging your situation or helping your situation. It's hard to see from this perspective. So it looks like you're unable to see that right now. You're unable to see what's been holding you back, your limiting beliefs, and the blind spots. And no amount of thinking and trying to figure it out mentally is going to get you there. What is being required of you is collaboration, is asking for help, looking outward into your relationships and gaining different perspectives. Collaboration is needed here. It's not just up to you, is what I'm getting. And yeah, you're going to need to hear from different perspectives on this one. the Two of Wands, as well as the Three of Wands. So I think there's going to be some degree of waiting, and just allowing things to come together. The Three of Wands is like she's looking at the waves and she's waiting for her ship to come to shore. And so you're kind of in this place where you're waiting for that thing to come and show up in your reality. It's not here yet, and you just have to stay in this energy of remaining optimistic and on the lookout and exploring what's to come. Yeah, remain optimistic. Sit with anticipation, positive anticipation and hope. It's very ambiguous to me. I don't really know what this is about, but I know what you have to do. From the Osho deck, you have these 3 cards. You have stress. So you seem quite exhausted right now. There's a lot going on in your mind, and it's time to just take a break, let things be, and let go of what you think is right or wrong, because that's what you think. Again, the mind is limited. Your idea of morality, of what is right, of what I should do, perhaps really isn't the way things are supposed to be. There's something you're not seeing, and you need a different perspective to help you see it. Call upon people in your life to help you see from a different perspective. This morality is what's weighing you down, this need for things to be how society has taught you they should be. It's time to let that go. That's weighing you down and causing you lots of stress. It's time for you to adopt a more innocent approach. And I love this card. I want you to just look at the image. This card is one of my favorite, just so beautiful. Even though the man is ancient in this card, he looks so young and fresh and playful, and he's just enjoying this moment, this precious moment he has with the grasshopper, and he's so happy. So, despite what you think you know and how wise you think you are, all of that really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, are you as happy as this guy? How can you adopt more innocence, openness, and playfulness into your life? Because that's where true wisdom lies. What are you not seeing? What are you taking too seriously? I don't think we have been taught to, especially in Western society, to be stoic and very proper and grounded, and but wisdom doesn't come through that. Wisdom and knowing comes through this sort of aging, of just returning to that childlike innocence. In my culture, we say that when you grow old, you return to how you were when you were 3. I'm terribly paraphrasing right now, but it's kind of that idea that the older you get, the more you should become how you were when you were a child. That's a sign of true wisdom, aging, and completion. It's that cycle, you make your way back. So how can you be more innocent and playful and childlike and open? That's your job. From the Starseed Oracle, you have take a break. There you go. You're feeling stressed, you're overwhelmed in your mind. Now it's time for you to just take a break. Take a break from the mind. Rest. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Yeah. You got a whole life ahead of you. Don't burn yourself out for just this little bit. Get off the treadmill. There's no need to keep going. You can get off. Take a break. And from the Fool's Oracle, you have the faithful. And it says, have faith. And I think, that goes back to the innocence card. When we're so identified with the mind and our energies up here, we tend to overlook our emotions, our intuition, our instincts. And that's where you go wrong. That's where you don't follow the way the universe has laid it out. You lose connection with your deeper knowing. And so you're being called to just bring your awareness down to that place within you where you can have faith, where you can release yourself into a more expansive, open approach that is innocence. And there we have it. I hope you enjoyed the messages and the readings. This is my first time doing a video like this, and so let me know if you enjoyed it, if these readings resonated with you. I really felt like I picked up on 3 very distinct energies, and they did come through in the readings. So I guess it's just a matter of, are they now connected to the viewers that actually watch my videos? So I'm really curious to make these connections and see if the energies have picked up for your energies. So let me know, and I really hope you enjoyed this video.